Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls basketball contest between two historic Bay State Conference rivals, the hosting Tigers of Newton North High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. As you can see from the pregame clock, we're getting a little close in terms of the start time, so I'm not going to waste any time running our intro video. From Newton North High School, it's Warriors versus Tigers. You are watching Brookline High Basketball. Dribbling, gives it out to Matarazza. Matarazza running in, puts it up and in. Kimbrough dribbling, pulls up from three, hits it. Falls on it and gets it to Kastanton. Kastanton blocked by Denker. Agakich driving in again. Agakich finds the opening. 4-2. Stupka stepping in, blocked twice by McMahon. Kimbrough chucks it up to the corner. Driving in is Zanini, and Zanini finishes again. They swing it around. Gravely for three again. Stephanie Gravely has 18 points today. All right, that was our intro, and as you can see, we're about to get to pregame introductions. PA announcer will soon take over again. My apologies for starting so close to the wire today.
Brookline High School in the Tigers of the North. Round of applause, please. Newton North High School and the Bay State Conference have high expectations for sportsmanship in all of its contests. We want this to be a pleasant experience for the fans, the players, the coaches, referees, and game personnel. Let's set a great example of sportsmanship tonight. Please refrain from negative cheers and outbursts. Newton North takes great pride in providing a positive and safe environment for all participants, athletes, coaches, fans, officials, including those from visiting teams. Please applaud good effort by both teams. Keep it positive and enjoy tonight's contest. We'll let the players play, the coaches coach, the officials officiate, and the fans will stay positive. Please, at this time, I'm going to announce the starting lineups for the visiting Warriors from Brookline High School. Round of applause, please. At guard, sophomore, number 3, Jada Kimbrough.
I'll grab it.
At guard, sophomore, number 13, Mary Page. At forward, junior, number 21, Liv Mazzarato. At guard, junior, number 1, Valeria Zani. And at forward, senior, number 24, Gigi McMahon. And at this time, let me announce the starters for our home Tigers. Round of applause, please. At guard, number 24, sophomore, Hallie Dennis. At guard, number 2, senior, Nadia Briggs. At forward, number 15, senior, Eva Basham. Also at forward, number 3, senior, Helen Ruane. And finally at forward, number 14, senior, Maddie Scantling. And if I can ask you all to please rise and remove your neck coverings for the playing of our national anthem.
Is that one? Is that port just broken?
All right, those are the starting lineups and the national anthem, and we will soon be getting this one underway. Once again, thank you all for tuning in today. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button, and if there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. And a reminder, these girls' basketball games are unlisted on YouTube, so if someone wants to be able to watch it, they do need the exact link. So if you have the link, be sure to share it with any fans that you know that you think might want to watch. And here we go, as we'll soon be getting this game underway. Brookline coming out with a starting lineup of Olivia Zanini, Jada Kimbrough, Nefeli Agakich, Olivia Matarazza, and Gigi McMahon. For Newton North, I see number 24, Allie Dennis, number 15, Eva Mesher, number 14, Maggie Scanlon was taking the tip, and there's number 2, Nadia Briggs, and rounding out the group is number 3, Helen Ruane. Newton North controls the opening tip, swinging it around the perimeter. Briggs throws it over to Dennis, now to the corner, Mesher for 3, no good, rebound collected by Nefeli Agakich. Agakich gives it to Kimbrough, who brings it to the top, swings it over to McMahon on the wing. McMahon now gives to Zanini. Zanini driving in, stuffed by Nadia Briggs with some help from Maggie Scanlon. That'll be a jump ball possession arrow to Brookline since Newton North won the opening tip-off. Zanini floats one up to Matarazza. Matarazza's pocket is picked, but it's recovered by Jada Kimbrough. Her foot went over the half-court line after she recovered it and got possession. If she'd gone back there before collecting the ball, it wouldn't have been back-court, as it would have been forced by the defense. But because she got possession first, it was a back-court violation. Eva Mesher loses the ball, but it's picked up by Scanlon, and Scanlon lays it in for 2. First bucket of the game scored by Maggie Scanlon off a near turnover, and now Allie Dennis steals it away, gets it to Briggs. Briggs misses the lay-in, defended by Zanini, who collects the rebound. Zanini passes it back to Agakich, who brings it across half court. Agakich drives, kicks, Kimbrough for 3, short. Rebound taken off the bounce, almost lost, but Ruane does get it to Briggs. Briggs throws it up to Dennis. Dennis driving, trapped in the corner, passes out to Briggs, over to Ruane, inside Mesher, off a foot, and picked up by Kimbrough. Off the turnover, it's Agakich bringing up the ball. Turns around, resets. Picks up her dribble, has to pass, gets it to Zanini. Zanini off a pick, runs in and is blocked by Scanlon. It'll be Brookline ball. Brookline offense has had its fair share of struggles this season. They are coming off their highest scoring outing of the season as Matarazza turns around and hits it. Olivia Matarazza with Brookline's first bucket, and they tie the game at 2. Dennis up to Briggs, back to Dennis, inside Scanlon, pass out of the double team, but it's over the head, and it's going to be chased down by Kimbrough on the turnover. Pass deflected, but recovered by Zanini. Gives out to Agakich as they reset. Agakich drives, manages to barely kick it out to Kimbrough on the wing. Kimbrough almost ran into a wall with Scanlon. Manages to pass away to Agakich. Now to McMahon in the corner. McMahon dribbling out, gives out. Zanini, deep 3, short. And Kimbrough couldn't quite save it. As we check out the replay of Brookline's first bucket, a timeout is called. As we take a break in the action, like I was saying, Brookline coming off their highest scoring offensive outing of the season so far in last week's loss on the road to Wellesley. Brookline lost that one 68 to 52. It was the first game that Brookline had eclipsed 40 points, let alone 50. Their second highest scoring outing was a 45-40 loss to Westwood in the Bridgewater Raynham Holiday Tournament. Brookline has been averaging 34.67 points per game while allowing an average of 50.44, and that's left them with a winless record so far at 0-9. Brookline hoping to change that here against their rival Newton North. Out of the timeout, it will be Newton North ball after Brookline lost it out of bounds. Briggs to Dennis. Dennis inside. Passed out from Mesher to Scanlon. Scanlon throws up top to Briggs. Around to Ruane. Inside Mesher. Mesher looking, trapped, trying to escape. Gets a pass out to Dennis. Poked loose by Kimbrough. Recovered by Zanini. Zanini running with it on the fast break. Zanini stops and travels. When you're running fast, you got to make your decisions faster than that. Otherwise, that little bit of hesitation turns into an extra step, and it turns into a travel. Briggs to Dennis, inside quick to Scanlon off the deflection, thrown down low to Mesher. Mesher beats her defender over the top and lays it in, and one. Two points for Eva Mesher. And hits the and one. Substitution for Brookline. Number 11, Kyrie Simmons, checks in, replacing Olivia Zanini. Matarazza gives back to Aga Kitch. Newton North bringing a press. Aga Kitch passes across half court to Kimbrough. Almost got trapped in the corner there, but dribbles away fast and gives to Aga Kitch. Back up top to Kimbrough. Kimbrough's pass deflected and stolen by Dennis. Running the fast break, going up, blocked by Kimbrough, but the foul is called. Dennis will go to the line for two off of that one. First free throw from Dennis is good. We got another substitution for Brookline. Number 15, Amelie Hauner, checks into the game, replacing Jada Kimbrough. And Dennis 2 for 2 at the line. Newton North now up 7-2. Hauner with the ball, pass it back over to Aga Kitch. They got to cross half court. Aga Kitch breaks the half-court line, throws it up to Simmons. Simmons fakes, runs in, floater, no good. Rebound by Mesher. Gives over to Scanlon. Almost juggled her dribble there, but gets it up to Briggs. Ruane, Scanlon missed. One last pass to Mesher was wide of the target. As now Brookline makes another substitution. Number 35, Stephanie Gravely, into the game, replacing Olivia Matarazza. Gravely coming off an impressive outing against Wellesley last week against as she dropped 18 points, 16 of them in the fourth quarter, including 3 3-pointers. It was the highest scoring individual outing of any Brookline player so far this season. As again, Newton North bringing quick passing, but the jump ball is forced as Hauner got her hands on it. Possession arrow to Newton North. Quick inbound to a wide open Helen Ruane, who misses the three ball from the corner. And Dennis could not recover it. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. Seven to 2, the Newton North lead as Brookline works against the Tigers' press again. Hauner across half court, almost gets trapped, but passes away to Aga Kitch. Pass stolen away again by Dennis. Dennis running the other way, shot is in. Allie Dennis now with 4 points today, And we've got a whistle, a foul called on the Tigers. As you can see from the scoreboard cam in the bottom left corner of your screen, they're not showing which player is committing the personal fouls. They are showing team fouls. Remember, 5 fouls and a quarter as it's stolen away by Briggs, knocked out of bounds. And last touch by Briggs as Brookline gets the favorable deflection. As I was saying, 5 fouls in the quarter will allow a team to shoot the double bonus. Inbound goes to Gravely, who takes off dribbling and draws another foul. Folks, let me know it. Excuse me. Let me know if the volume is too loud on my microphone or anything like that, or if there are any other technical difficulties with the stream. You can speak up in the live chat as Gravely misses the 3. Rebound collected. Taken back by Ruane over to Briggs. Briggs floats it, misses, but it is chased down by Dennis. Dennis dribbling with it over to Ruane and to Briggs. Briggs to Ruane to Dennis for 3. Yes. Ali Dennis putting up some good points here. 7 points for the Newton North sophomores. It's stolen back by Briggs, and Briggs hits a layup as Brookline is struggling against that Tigers press defense. Simmons throws it across half court to Gravely. Gravely dribbling to her right, steps in mid-range, gets it. Stephanie Gravely finally breaks the Newton North run at 12 unanswered points it was for the Tigers before Gravely finally broke that scoring streak. Dennis now at the ball, throws baseline. Floated back out to Briggs and across to number 25, Nina Bacall. Now around the horn goes Dennis inside to an open Scanlon, who is blocked but not cleanly and will go back to the line. Two minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. A 14-4 lead for Newton North. And Scanlon is off on the first. Couple more subs. Jada Kimbrough back into the game for Brookline, replacing Nefeli Agakich. Another couple of substitutions for Brookline. Matarazza back in the game. And on the floor is number 4, Ivy Wheeler, as Scanlon hits her second of 2 free throws. She's now got 3 points today. Kimbrough lost it off her foot. It's recovered by Briggs. Briggs gives it to Scanlon, runs through, lost the ball, deflected out off Brookline. Bit of confusion there briefly, but now it's going to be thrown in. Inbound, stolen by McMahon, given back to Wheeler. Wheeler runs it across half court, floats a pass over the hands of Olivia Zanini, out of bounds. (15-4), Newton North leads Brookline. The pass goes to Rao. Rao throws to the corner to number 10, Ava Salem, trying to escape the trap, gets to Scanlon, throws it across, wide open for 3, no good. Off the long distance shot from Bacall. Rebound collected by Kimbrough, running the floor, stops, steps in, 3 ball, yes! Jada Kimbrough with the first bucket from downtown for Brookline. They cut the lead back to single digits, and a deflection by Kimbrough was almost recovered by Zanini, but it went off her leg. And Briggs got her hands on it to force the jump ball. Possession arrow to Brookline, but almost a fast break chance for Brookline that could have cut the lead down to 6. Zanini bringing it up. Throws inside to Matarazza, backing down, turning around, and I think they called a foul. They called a foul on Eva Mesher. And that is a non-shooting foul. So Brookline will simply get the inbound with a fresh shot clock. Inbound goes to Matarazza, backing down, fighting, lost the ball, picks it up, turnaround, shot is in. Matarazza now with 4 points today. And Brookline does cut the lead down to 6. Bakal throws inside to Mesher, kicks out, Rao for 3, no good. Rebound, Zanini. Zanini running the floor in transition. Stops at the wing, pass, misses Matarazza, caught by McMahon. McMahon battling down low, and a jump ball is called. Looking back at that, at a replay of that last bucket by Matarazza. Olivia Matarazza, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I've been very impressed with her improvement of her footwork and ball handling in the post. And if she gets that consistent finishing touch down low, she can be a real scoring threat for the Warriors going forward. As she deflects that one out of bounds, it'll stay Newton North ball with 13.3 seconds left here in the first. Inbound to Scanlon, given back out to Salem, across to Briggs. Briggs picks up her dribble, gives to Rao. Rao dribbling, gives to the corner. Scanlon to Briggs, quick shot, missed. And that will be the end of the first quarter. Our score at the end of 1, the Newton North Tigers 15, the Brookline Warriors 9. Leading the way for the Tigers, Allie Dennis with 7 points. Maggie Scanlon and Eva Mesher with 3 points each. Nadia Briggs with 2. For Brookline, Olivia Matarazza with 4 points, Jada Kimbrough with 3, and Stephanie Gravely with 2. Okay, we now get ready to start the second quarter. A 15-9 lead for the hosting Tigers. Brookline hoping they can bring some more offensive firepower here in this quarter. Zanini starts dribbling, turns around, resets, moves to her right, around a pick, fires mid-range, no good. Rebound by Scanlon. It was a nice look, just didn't fall as Briggs gives to Dennis across. Ruane for 3. Ruane hits the tray. First points of the day for Helen Ruane. As Newton North goes up by 9 and they reapply the press. Brookline breaks the press. Kimbrough travels. She was left open on the wing and she didn't quite expect it, and so she was slightly off on her step dribble rhythm. Stepped before she dribbled and was called for the travel. Briggs up to Ruane. Ruane throws it to Scanlon. Scanlon inside Mesher. Layup no good. Mesher with her own rebound, but McMahon forces the jump ball. It will stay Newton North ball. Dennis looking for the inbound, floats it into Scanlon in the corner. Now out to the wing to Mesher, back to the corner, Dennis. And we got an illegal pick call that's going to go against Scanlon. And so Brookline will get the ball in the offensive foul. Wheeler into Zanini. Zanini up to Matarazza. Matarazza across half court, gives to Wheeler. Wheeler floats it over to Zanini. Zanini dribbles in, tries to kick out, deflected, recovered by McMahon, running through, kicks out from the top. In and out, no good off the shot. Rebound collected, put back no good from Kimbrough. And now it's rebounded by Scanlon, running, going up, hits the layup. Maggie Scanlon now with 5 points today off of that one. Zanini dribbling, gives back to Wheeler. Wheeler against the trap, escapes, gives to McMahon. McMahon runs in, throws it out a little high, but Kimbrough gets it to the corner. Zanini, three, no. Rebound tipped, but goes to Briggs. Matarazzo was trying to tip it to a teammate, didn't get it. Dennis does get that one. Allie Dennis, the first to reach double figures. She's got 10. Zanini hit by Dennis, and that's going to be a foul. Offensive struggles continue for Brookline as Newton North opens with an 8-0 run in the second quarter. Now leads 23-9. Zanini to her left, throws inside to McMahon, backing down, puts it up, no good. Rebound tipped, collected by Sylvie Costin-Greeley, who just missed the shot but does draw the foul. Already the third team foul for Newton North this quarter. And we're just over 2 minutes in. Costin-Greeley will go to the line for two. And gets the first. First point of the day for Sylvie Costin-Greeley. And hits them both. That does break the scoring streak for Newton North. Pass gets up, extra pass to Ruane, misses the lay-in, defended by McMahon. Rebound is going to be a jump ball as again McMahon hustling to get her hands on the ball. McMahon was left in a 1-on-2 situation down in the post there, but that's why Brookline counts on her as the anchor of the defense as Zanini travels. Briggs throws it in to the corner. Rao for three, in and out. Rebound tipped several which ways. Chased down by Briggs, who gives it out to Scanlon. Now to Ruane. Ruane past Rao, pass blocked, but Rao recovers and gets it to Mesher. Mesher puts it up and in. Eva Mesher with 5 points as Newton North fought through disaster to keep that possession going. Matarazza fighting, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound Mesher. Briggs throws it up to Rao. Rao back out to Briggs, across to Scanlon, and over to Ruane. Ruane up top to Briggs, and across to Rao, who now gives to Mesher. Mesher to Rao. Rao running in, floater is good. Nikki Rao with her first points of the day, and Brookline calls timeout. And I don't blame Coach Kendall Jones one bit for calling that timeout. You know, like I said, Brookline winless so far this season, and a lot of games you could easily look at it and just say that Brookline was out-talented or out-experienced. This is the first time I've really felt that Brookline was so definitively out-hustled by an opponent. Newton North fighting a lot harder for the 50-50 balls, and on that a couple possessions ago, when you saw Nikki Rao's pass got walled by two defenders, and she still managed to fight and recover that ball and get a pass to a wide-open Eva Mesher down low. you know, those are the kind of plays that Newton North is winning off of. They're bringing in aggressive press defense. Their perimeter defenders are jumping in every passing lane. They're getting a bunch of offensive boards. When Brookline goes for offensive boards, they're just tipping them, and then Newton North's recovering them. And even when Newton North is making mistakes, you know, they're scrapping for the ball and recovering it and keeping the possession alive. And I only say this, I know it might come across as harsh, but I only say this because I genuinely feel like Brookline can play better than what they're playing right now. I genuinely feel like they're a better team than what they've shown so far today. Inbound goes to Kimbrough, back to Costin Greeley. Costin Greeley back to Kimbrough as they work against the press. They break it. Throw to the corner. Driving in is Aga Kitch. Pass out, juggled but collected by McMahon. Gives out Costin Greeley, running in Euro step and draws the foul. Well, that's something new we haven't seen from Costin Greeley before this season. She's mostly operated as a shooter from outside, but that time went for the slash and managed to draw the foul. And off on the first. So there's something I do like what I see there. I liked the aggressiveness. You know, I like the technique on the Euro step there by Costin Greeley. She misses both free throws, bounces out of bounds. They say last touched by Brookline as number 23, Julia Denker, was trying to get an offensive board that time. Still 27-11, the Newton North advantage. Dennis bringing up the ball. Dennis from the top, hands off to Briggs. Briggs stops, kicks out to Scanlon. Scanlon driving in, kicks out. Up top, Dennis. Dennis steps in, but travels. Inbound, Kimbrough. Back to Costin Greeley, back to Kimbrough, and Costin Greeley. Costin Greeley, 1 foot over the line, has to float a pass over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough steps in, long two, banks it. Jada Kimbrough now with 5 points. Briggs from the top, looking. Pass to Ruane. Ruane. Pass to Scanlon. Scanlon steps in, passes out. Jumper, no good from Mesher. Rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough running it the other way. Swings it over to Costin Greeley. Costin Greeley looking up top to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch against Dennis. Hits a wall, gives to Kimbrough. Now a bounce pass to McMahon, steps in, looking around, out to Kimbrough, running out of shot clock to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch fires a deep three, no good. Rebound by Denker. They call a travel. I guess they're saying she fell down before she got the pass off. So the ball goes back to Newton North. Briggs gives to Mesher. Mesher throws inside, deflected by McMahon, out of bounds, still Newton North ball. Dennis to Briggs. Out to Dennis. Dennis drives, kicks to the corner, and an offensive foul called on Dennis for the charge. And that's actually the bonus. That's 5 team fouls. So I think Brookline should be shooting the bonus in this situation, but they aren't. I guess a charge is an exception to the bonus rule. Costin Greeley to Aga Kitch, back to Costin Greeley. and back to Agakic. Agakic driving in, goes up, no good. Rebound collected by Newton North. Now Scanlon running the floor, pass over the head of Briggs and out of bounds. Costin Greeley into Kimbrough, over to Costin Greeley. Runs up, pass to Kimbrough. Now back over to Costin Greeley and Agakic for three. Short, rebound by Denker, missed the reverse. Kimbrough, the putback, missed. Rebound Mesher. And a jump ball forced by Julia Denker. Good hustle by Denker on that play, as Olivia Matarazza comes back into the game, replacing Denker. And the possession arrow points to Newton North. Briggs. Pass deflected, but does get to Bacall inside Mesher. Mesher is fouled by McMahon. Scanlon inbound, stolen by Kimbrough. Kimbrough running with it. Swings to McMahon, fires for three, yes! G.G. McMahon, good from three-point land. Not sure what that whistle was for, but either way, that is good for McMahon's first points of the day. Briggs to Scanlon. Scanlon to Briggs, now to Mesher. And a foul is going to be called on Costin Greeley. Looking back at that last play for Brookline, McMahon has developed a bit of a three-point shot this season. She had 2 trays against Wellesley last week, now has 1 today. The lead for Newton North is 11. Inbound. Given up top to Scanlon. Scanlon looking. Gives it over to Ruane. Ruane from the wing. Swings over to Briggs and over to Bacall. Back to Briggs. Briggs back to Ruane. Around to Scanlon. Scanlon up top to Bacall. Over to Briggs. Briggs inside. Scanlon fighting in the post. And they're going to call another foul on Brookline. I think they're going to say no shot on that one, as they're going to call that one on Matarazza. So that'll be Brookline's 3rd team foul with 51.1 seconds left in the half. Inbound. I'm not sure what happened there, but they're resetting the play. Inbound punched back out by Kimbrough. Excuse me there. Offensive foul called against Newton North. That's going to go against Scanlon. And so, yes, I guess because it was an offensive foul, the bonus rules do not apply. As a substitution, Ava Salem coming into the game, replacing Maggie Scanlon. Brookline working against the press. Costin Greeley gives to Matarazza, to Kimbrough, to the corner. McMahon for 3, no good. Rebound chased down by Bacall. Pass intercepted by Brookline. Costin Greeley layup, no good. Rebound tipped, gets to Matarazza. Jumper is good. Olivia Matarazza hits the mid-range jumper after Brookline manages to collect the loose ball a couple of times. Cut the lead back down to single digits. You see off the miss, it was tipped, but this time Brookline had a player back there for the tip. Generally, I think most coaches still prefer that you get both hands on it and go for the rebound rather than the tip, but it did work out for Brookline that time. They had the numbers necessary down low to get that rebound. So the two teams have played even in this second quarter. Well, actually, no. Brookline had cut the lead down to 6 at the tail end of that first quarter. Newton North outscored them 15-9 in that one. Now the Tigers have outscored Brookline again, but this time only by a margin of 12-9. .3 seconds left in this quarter. Briggs gives to Bacall, handoff to Ruane, and handoff to Briggs. Briggs runs in, fires, blocked by Kimbrough. McMahon had to save it, but does get it to Aga Kitch. They've got to run. McMahon sprinting up the floor, turns around, gives to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch running in, layup, no good, rebound. And a whistle was blown, but it looks like they're just going to count it as the end of the half. As Aga Kitch was trying to get a shot off, couldn't finish on that last layup. And so Brookline will go into the half trailing by 9. I will give credit to Brookline. They have had a couple of stretches where things looked really bad. At one point, they trailed 15-4, answered with a 5-0 run, and then at another point trailed 27-11, went on a 7-0 run to answer back. So they've managed to keep this game from getting out of hand despite a couple junctures where it looked like it would. Looks like Newton North is going to have a dance team performance here at halftime. So depending on how loud the music is for that one, I might give some extra notes after the performance. So we'll watch the performance, and I'll be right back after that. Okay, I think this might actually just be a practice for the Newton North dance team. So since it's a practice and not a full-blown performance, I will give a couple notes before I go to a break. Individual scoring totals thus far. For Newton North, Allie Dennis leads the way with 10 points. Maggie Scanlon and Eva Mesher with 5 each. Helen Ruane with 3, and Nadia Briggs and Nikki Rao each have 2. For Brookline, Olivia Matarazzo leads the way with 6 points. Jada Kimbrough with 5. Gigi McMahon with 3. and Sylvie Costant-Greeley and Stephanie Gravely with 2 each. And during this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to some helpful links in the description section of this video. The first link you'll find at the top of the description section is a link to the official Venmo account for the Brookline High Girls Basketball Booster Club. So if you'd like to support the girls basketball program financially, you can follow that link to the Venmo account right there. Below that link in the description section, you can find a link and phone number to our local charity spotlight, which I'm going to tell you about right now. It's the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, the foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And again, all that information down in the description section down below. So for now, I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I'll be back with the third quarter of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts, here to bring you the second half of today's high school varsity girls basketball contest between the hosting Newton North High Tigers and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Newton North with a 27-18 lead over Brookline. And if I'm Brookline, the one thing I want to adjust about our offensive game is you want to get the ball inside more to Olivia Matarazza. She's had a good shooting touch from close to mid-range today. Got a team leading 6 points. If you get the ball into her, she could get some good looks down low. First possession, this is Olivia Zanini in the corner, throws it out to Gigi McMahon, back to Zanini. Zanini drives, kicks out to Jada Kimbrough across to Nefeli Agakich, running past to McMahon. McMahon to the corner, Zanini running baseline, finds a lane, layup is good. Olivia Zanini with her first points of the day as Newton North runs it back the other way. Nadia Briggs handling it up top. Briggs looking around, passes to Helen Ruane, inside gets to Eva Mesher, layup no good. Mesher with her own rebound. Matarazza gets her hands on the ball to force the jump ball. Possession arrow to Newton North, but rebounding is definitely an aspect that where Brookline's going to want to try and play better here in the second half, as the battle of the boards has gone decidedly in Newton North's favor so far today. Mesher steps in mid-range, in and out on the rim roll, but she does draw the foul and will go to the line for 2. First free throw from Mesher is good, as Brookline subs out Gigi McMahon for number 35, Stephanie Gravely. McMahon hitting some foul trouble. She's been called for a few down low. Mesher 2 for 2 at the line. Now second on the team in scoring with 7 points, as Brookline fails against the press, but Ruane double dribbles. She was going for the pass and stopped, but ball went out of her hands, which means technically she dribbled with 2 hands, which is a double dribble. Zanini around a pick, throws to Agakich in the corner, throws a pass deflected by Briggs and recovered by Ruane. Nadia Briggs' wingspan has been such an asset for Newton North on the perimeter so far today. Ava Salem passes, it's deflected, goes to the floor, and I'm not sure what they blew the whistle on. Oh, they said Newton North managed to get a timeout. Coach Kendall Jones cannot believe it from the Brookline bench. He thought the ball had been knocked loose before the timeout was called. So we take a look at the replay of Zanini's bucket that opened the quarter. Okay, I thought I was going crazy for a second there because they had it at 21, but it was a 2-pointer by Zanini, so they just corrected it. So we're not going crazy, folks. It is 20 points for Brookline. So 29-20, the current Newton North lead. Early here in the third. Off the timeout, it's inbounded to Mesher, out to Briggs. Back to Dennis in the corner, fires, no good. Rebound Gravely. Gravely running with it, stops. Now charging it again. Gravely going inside, battling, still battling, gets blocked on the shot. Tried too much to force it through. It's recovered by Dennis. Dennis throws down low, intercepted. Zanini leapt in front of the ball. Now gives to Kimbrough. Kimbrough running, kicks out. Agakich fakes, steps in, goes up, pass for Kimbrough. Kimbrough blocked, but not cleanly. They're going to call the foul on Salem. Both teams with one foul so far here in the third quarter, as Jada Kimbrough now goes to the line for 2. And Kimbrough hits the first. Off on the second, rebound knocked loose, but recovered by the Tigers. This is Mesher with a free rein to the basket for 2. Eva Mesher has had a couple of plays where she left the Brookline defense behind her, as Gravely fires for 3 and hits it. Boy, I tell you, Stephanie Gravely, sometimes she takes the most random looking shots, but when her shot is on form, it's the prettiest looking thing. Mesher battling down low again, kicks it out. Dennis for 3, hits it. Allie Dennis now with 13 as she answers Brookline's tray with one of her own. Now a 10-point advantage for the Tigers. It's a long pass, does get to Matarazza. Matarazza passes to a cutting Zanini, runs in, no good, but draws the foul. Take a look back at the replay of Gravely's three-pointer. Again, you see she caught it, and footwork actually a lot smoother than it initially looked in stride because it was such a tight window with defenders on both sides of her, but did get off a nice three-pointer there as Zanini hits the first of 2. Cuts the lead back down to 9 as Maggie Scanlon checks back into the game for Newton North, replacing Ava Salem. Zanini 2 for 2 at the line, as now Brookline subs in Sylvie Costant-Greeley, replacing Zanini. 34-26, Briggs walking it up for the Tigers. Pass to Mesher, Mesher battling in, pass to Scanlon, kick out, Dennis. Dennis fakes, steps back, long 2, no good. Rebound knocked loose, recovered, shot by Ruane, might have been blocked, and it's recovered by Gravely. Gravely dribbling, has to pick up her dribble, and floats a pass over to Aga Kitch. Nefeli Aga Kitch from the top, passes over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough walks. Lost her footing and took an extra step as she was looking for a pass. Dennis gives to Briggs. Briggs looking, gives back to Dennis. Dennis drives, steps back, mid-range, no good. Rebound, almost won by Mesher, but Kimbrough takes it off of the deflection. Kimbrough is walled by Dennis, and Dennis for the fast break lay-in. And I think, did they call a foul on Kimbrough on that play as well? They did, and Dennis is going to have the and one chance. She's got a game-high 15 points so far. She's going to try for 16 as Kimbrough checks out for Brookline, replaced by Kyrie Simmons. The and one is good. Aga Kitch over to Costant-Greeley. Back to Aga Kitch. Throws it up to Simmons. Simmons steps in, passes out mid-range from Gravely, no good. Rebound by Briggs. Briggs gives to Dennis. Dennis swings it over to Scanlon. Scanlon to Briggs. And a travel by Briggs is going to give it back to Brookline. Currently an 11-point lead for the Tigers with 3:46 on the clock here in the third quarter. We got our first note in the live chat from Kat Jones. A very simple let's go Brookline as Simmons throws to the corner. Gravely for 3, no good. Rebound collected by Mesher. Thrown up to Briggs. Briggs up to Scanlon. Scanlon steps back, throws to the corner to Briggs. Out to Mesher now. And to Ruane. Ruane throws inside to Briggs. Briggs out to Dennis. Dennis around the defense, layup no good. Rebound tipped, collected by Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch almost lost the ball but recovers it. Cross half court. Off a pick, hits a wall. Drives in. And they say out of bounds, they say no foul. Aga Kitch was just blocked and couldn't get the shot off, and she touched it last as she now checks out for number 4, Ivy Wheeler. Matarazza currently the only Brookline starter on the floor for the Warriors as they still trail by 11. And Briggs went over the half-court line as she was dribbling, and so that's going to give the ball back to Brookline. This is Simmons to Costant Greeley. Back to Simmons. And back over to Costant Greeley on the wing. Over to Wheeler. Wheeler to Costant Greeley. Costant Greeley has to pick up the ball, throws to Gravely. Gravely travels, went up for the shot, decided against it midway through, but her feet had already left the ground. And Gravely now checks out for Gigi McMahon. Dennis bringing it up. Steps in, steps back. 3 ball is good. No, it's a 2. The officials say a 2-pointer. That's 18 points now for Dennis. Long pass up to Wheeler. Wheeler over to Costant Greeley. Costant Greeley dribbles in pass, deflected, stolen by Scanlon. Scanlon running with it. Pass up top. Truane over to Briggs. Briggs for 3. No good. Rebound Matarazza. Up to Simmons. Up to Wheeler. Wheeler layup is good. Ivy Wheeler with her first points of the day. Briggs sprinting right back. Kicks out to Mesher. Mesher across. Spins past Ruane. Ruane shot no good. Rebound Mesher. Mesher no good on the putback. And it's rebounded by Costant Greeley. Pass goes off Briggs and is recovered by Simmons. Simmons gives to Wheeler. Wheeler running in, layup no good, but she draws the foul. As we look back at the fast break bucket for Brookline, the fast transition passing, as Wheeler will now go to the line for 2. And first one is off the mark. Mesher now, no, not Mesher, Scanlon checking out now for Ava Salem. And that one off the mark, and somehow Matarazza got the rebound, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow to Brookline. 1:10 left in the game. Brookline trails by 11. Inbound goes off Matarazza's foot and out of bounds. Inbound goes to Mesher. Mesher looking, gives to the corner to Salem. Salem throws inside, knocked loose by McMahon, and off the ricochet, she recovers the steal. McMahon brings it up, gives to Simmons. Simmons swings it over to Wheeler. Wheeler up top to McMahon, who escapes her defender, runs in, kicks out. Costin Greeley stepping in, and that pass deflected out of bounds by Newton North. And so it will stay with Brookline with 34.8 seconds left in the quarter and 21 seconds left on the shot clock. Costin Greeley throws it inside, deflected out, but over the back went Ava Salem, and that's going to be another foul on Newton North. That will be their 4th team foul. So another defensive foul will send Brookline to the line for the bonus. Costin Greeley looking. She needs somewhere to go. Throws it way up top to McMahon. Now back, oh no, to Wheeler. Now back to Costin Greeley. Now up top to McMahon. McMahon from the top gives to Simmons. Simmons running in, throws it. The net saved it, and Wheeler gets blocked. Simmons saves it, gives out to Costin Greeley. Costin Greeley got blocked by Dennis. Newton North simply refusing to let Brookline get a clean shot off. Somehow Brookline still has the basketball. Shot clock has been turned off as Costin Greeley looking, throws it up to McMahon, swings it over to an open Wheeler, long two, good. Ivy Wheeler now with 4 points as Briggs sprinting with it. Briggs blocked, but it rolls just out as McMahon just barely got a hand on it. And so the two teams play even in the third quarter. Brookline still trails by 9. 39-30, the Newton North lead as we take a look back at the last bucket of the third quarter. Scored by Ivy Wheeler off the assist from McMahon, who then got the chase down block against Briggs that caused the layup to just barely roll off the rim. Scoring leaders so far for Newton North, Allie Dennis, far and away the leading scorer of the game with 18 points. Eva Mesher with 9 points. Maggie Scanlon with 5. Helen Ruane with 3. And Nadia Briggs and Nikki Rao with 2 each. For Brookline, Jada Kimbrough and Olivia Matarazza tied for the team lead with 6 points. Stephanie Gravely with 5. Olivia Zanini and Ivy Wheeler with 4 points each. Gigi McMahon with 3 and Sylvie Costin Greeley with 2. Interestingly enough, Nefeli Agakich with no points so far today. Nefeli Agakich is the last Brookline player left who has scored in every single game so far this season. That streak might end tonight. As off the Newton North inbound, I think they're saying, did Simmons cross over the line when trying to block that? Was there some kind of a violation? I think we're opening up this fourth quarter immediately with a technical foul against Brookline. And so Dennis is going to go to the line for some free throws. Rolls out on the first. And off the front rim. So Newton North not able to take advantage of the free throws, but they do maintain possession. So reset, just pretend the last 10 seconds didn't happen, as Newton North does get the opening possession of the fourth. Briggs pass, this is Mesher. Mesher battling, pass out to Dennis. Dennis driving in, kicks it out to Salem, now out to Ruane. Ruane dribbling, runs in, floater, no good, rebound tipped. Oh, and too many players going after it that time. Costin Greeley tried to save it in bounds, but it bounced right off of Simmons and stayed out of bounds. Dennis throws it, knocked loose by Matarazza, ripped away by Costin Greeley. Costin Greeley running with it. Pass barely gets away to Simmons. Simmons up top. Gives to Wheeler. Wheeler, pass goes off the leg of Matarazza. Wheeler recovers, shot no good. Rebound, chased down by Salem. Long pass up to Dennis. Dennis gives over to Ruane at the top. Now over to Salem on the wing. Back up top to Mesher. Mesher picks up her dribble, looking around. Pass, misses everyone, and flies out of bounds. Simmons driving in, kicks it out to McMahon. McMahon runs in, shot no good, draws the foul. McMahon will go to the line for 2, as that will be the first team foul for Newton North. And McMahon misses on the first. Sub checking in for the Tigers, Maggie Scanlon replaces Ava Salem. And McMahon in and out, 0 for 2 at the line. Scanlon throws it up to Ruane. Ruane out to Dennis. Dennis gives to Mesher. Mesher over to Briggs. Briggs stepping in, shot no good, and McMahon is called for the foul. And McMahon is going to have to sub out due to foul trouble, as we see Stephanie Gravely on the bench waiting to check in. She'll likely check in after the first free throw from Nadia Briggs. And the first one is in. So that is the first point from either team here in the fourth quarter, as indeed Gravely comes in place of McMahon. And Briggs 2 for 2 at the line. She's now got 4 points today. Costin Greeley throws it up to Simmons. Simmons towards the top, hands off to Gravely. Gravely dribbling in, turnaround, shot with a defender in her face. No good. Rebound collected by the Tigers. That's Ruane passing up to Dennis. Dennis almost lost the ball but stays with it. Pass over to Ruane. Ruane looking, gives it to Scanlon, steps in, kicks out Briggs. Fakes, runs, baseline, and easy layup for Nadia Briggs. She's now got 6 today. And a steal. Dennis takes it back and draws the foul. And a timeout is called by Brookline. We got what appears to be a question in the live chat from Yuli Burstein. In the game or quarter? Sadly, I have no idea what you're asking about. I am a little bit ahead of you guys in terms of what you're watching versus what I'm broadcasting. Not to mention, my eyes are mainly on the action, so I'm only checking the live chat, during breaks in the action. So questions that are like, one-liner responses to things that I said aren't exactly going to land. Out of the timeout, 5:39 left in this one. Newton North leads by 13. Inbound goes to Briggs, out to Dennis for three, no good. Rebound collected by Kimbrough off the deflection. Kimbrough running with it, swings over to Gravely. Gravely for three, no good. Rebound Kimbrough. Kimbrough resets from the top. Kimbrough over to Costant Greeley. Now to Wheeler. Now pass deflected out of bounds by Scanlon. Now inbound goes to Kimbrough. Over to Wheeler. Wheeler up top, Costant Greeley. Now to Matarazza and Kimbrough. Kimbrough looking, pass inside Gravely, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound being chased after. Scanlon trapped along the sideline, and a timeout is called by Newton North. Still just 4 points scored between the two teams over 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. All 4 of those points scored by Newton North. Brookline has yet to score here in the final frame. Another question from Yuli Burstein. Are you staying for the boys game? And the answer is, I'm not. The boys team has not booked me for any games this season, and that includes this one. It's a bummer. I would have really liked to have covered some games for the boys basketball team as well. I mean, you guys know me. I love covering just about any team that I can. But unfortunately, past couple seasons, boys basketball team just hasn't booked me for anything. Out of the timeout, 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in this game. Newton North leads Brookline by 13. Dennis inbounds to Scanlon. Now Briggs. Briggs gives to Ruane. Kicks out to the corner to Dennis. Dennis looking. Floats it out to Briggs. Briggs pass over to Mesher. Mesher over to Briggs. Briggs running out of shot clock. Inside shot. No good, but the rebound collected by Ruane, and Newton North gets another full possession. Dennis to Ruane. Ruane out to Scanlon. Scanlon pass finds Mesher. Mesher shoves over Kimbrough and is called for the offensive foul. Kimbrough throws it up to Wheeler. Up top to Costant Greeley. Now over to Kimbrough, but through her hands and out of bounds. Inbound to Briggs. Briggs sprinting up with it, stops, turns around and gives to Dennis. Dennis driving in, shot, no good. Rebound Mesher, put back, no good. Rebound tipped, bounces out of bounds. Brookline ball. Nefeli Agakich checks back in for Brookline, replacing Ivy Wheeler. Kimbrough walking up with it. Kimbrough off a pick, lost her dribble, out of bounds. It's going to be Newton North ball. And sloppy turnovers have been a costly factor for Brookline today. They've had a number of travels, dribbles, and passes that have gone off their feet. You know, lost loose balls. As Scanlon now drives in, pass to Mesher. Mesher shot no good, rebound tipped. Another offensive rebound for the Tigers as Mesher passes over to Briggs, over to Scanlon, 3-ball no good. Rebound collected by Agakich. Agakich throws for an unsuspecting Matarazza, and it's taken back by Briggs. Now Dennis to Ruane. Back to a cutting Dennis, who cuts around the defense and lays it in. Allie Dennis now with 20 points tonight as Kimbrough brings it up for the Warriors. Over to Costant Greeley. Now to Gravely, quick shot. No good. Rebound by Costant Greeley, throws it out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough steps in mid-range. No good. Rebound by Ruane. Dennis holding it on the wing, up top to Ruane. Inside to Mesher. Mesher with those quick cuts down low, gets behind the defense again, and she's now got 11. A 17-point lead for the Tigers with 2 minutes to go. Costant Greeley over to Gravely. Gravely picked loose but recovers the ball, and a timeout is called by Brookline. With less than 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Brookline still has not scored here in the final frame of this contest. Newton North outscoring them 8-0 here in the fourth. Point totals so far for Newton North. Allie Dennis, definitely the offensive star of this game with 20 points. Eva Mesher, who has been all over the court fighting for loose balls and has been a whiz in the post against the Brookline defense. She's got 11. Nadia Briggs with 6 points. Maggie Scanlon with 5. Helen Ruane with 2. And Nikki Rao with 3. Helen Ruane with 3. Nikki Rao with 2. Boy, I got mixed up there at the end. For Brookline, Jada Kimbrough and Olivia Matarazzo with 6 each. Stephanie Gravely with 5. Olivia Zanini and Ivy Wheeler with 4 each. And Gigi McMahon with 3. And Sylvie Costant Greeley with 2. Viviana McDonald into the game for Brookline. Pass for Julia Denker. Layup, no good. Rebound, Scanlon. Scanlon takes off running with it. Pass to Mesher. Mesher runs in. Layup is good. Eva Mesher now with 13 tonight. Aga Kitch running up with it. Recovers her dribble. Steps in, throws out. Running in now as McDonald throws out to Aga Kitch. Fakes, runs in. Shot, banks in. The scoring streak will continue for Nefeli Agakich, still the only Brookline player who has scored in every single game so far this season. Timeout called by Newton North as they're going to sub in some backups with a 17-point lead with a minute to go. As this quasi-hook shot from Agakich extends her scoring streak to 10 straight games. And sadly, barring some kind of catastrophic meltdown, Brookline will be suffering their 10th straight loss to open the season. I mean, it's tough. You see bits and pieces here and there where you see promise, but you also see these gaping holes in their game, whether it be fighting for rebounds, fighting for loose balls, sloppy turnovers, any number of things that have plagued Brookline to start this season. This is Rao with the ball now for Newton North. Steps in, long two, no good. Rebound collected by Newton North. Pass broken up. Multiple players fall on it, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow to Brookline. Wheeler inbounds to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch running in, kicks out. 3-ball attempt for Amelie Hauner is good. So Amelie Hauner gets her first points of the night off the 3-ball. Salem looking around, pass to Rao. Rao looking, pass, shot by Bacall. No good, rebound. Won again by Newton North. That was, I believe, number 20, Nora Hamill. Now Rao with the shot, no good. Another rebound, put back, no good this time. And McDonald throws the pass over the head of Hauner. And that last turnover is going to be the last play of the night for this one. Them's in the books. The final score, the Newton North High Tigers 49, the Brookline High Warriors 35. So Brookline falls to 0-10 on the season so far. As this was, not an especially low-scoring outing. It was about average for them, but it will also mark, I believe, the third game this season where they had no double-digit scores. Final scoring stats for Brookline, 6 points each for Jada Kimbrough and Olivia Matarazza, 5 for Stephanie Gravely, 4 each for Olivia Zanini and Ivy Wheeler, 3 each for Amelie Hauner and Gigi McMahon, as we'll take a look at the replay for the final bucket for the Warriors on this 3-ball by Amelie Hauner in the closing seconds. And then rounding out the scoring for Brookline, 2 points each from Nefeli Agakich and Sylvie Costant-Greeley, as Agakich is able to keep her scoring streak alive at 10 games. But that's going for Newton North. Leading scorers, Allie Dennis with 20 points, Eva Mesher with 13, Nadia Breaks with 6, Maggie Scanlon with 5, Helen Ruane with 3, and Nikki Rao with 2. And that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button. You can subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on some of my other sports live streams. Tomorrow night, I will be at Walter Brown Arena for Brookline High Girls Hockey's Hockey Fights Cancer game against the Newton Crush Co-op. So be sure to stay tuned for that at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel can't help. Thank you to all those who brought the notes in the live chat. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. And be sure to go down below to the description section of the video where you can find some helpful links. Link to the Booster Club, the official Venmo account for the Brookline High Girls Basketball Booster Club, if you'd like to donate and support the program financially. Also a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. And also some helpful links about me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or you can skip past that and email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And you can follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Newton North 49, Brookline 35. From Newton North High School, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.
Our principal, Dr. Turner, thank you for all your help with this. He was very beneficial in helping set up the reception. So thank you to everybody that was part of making this happen. So a couple of things to the group here. Scoring a